So we'll go ahead and recognize we have a full quorum this evening, all 5 members present. And we have nothing to add to the agenda, so if I can get a motion for approving the agenda as is.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as is.
No second.
Scott, I gave it to you. All right, any questions, discussion on agenda items? All right, all those in favor for approving the, this evening's agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, now is the time for, audience to be able to speak on agenda items, and non-agenda items will be opened back up. Did we have anybody sign? Okay. All right, so we will go ahead and move on to our routine matters, which is the minutes of the ratification public hearing of October 13th, 2025, and minutes of our regular meeting on October 13th of 2025.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Any questions, discussions on those minutes? All right, all those in favor for approving the ratification public hearing minutes and the regular meeting minutes on October 13th, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, then we have our vouchers and financial reports. If I could get a motion for approving, or, yes, I guess for considering approval for those minutes.
I'll make a
those,
motion to
sorry.
approve the payment of vouchers and financials.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Okay. Tracy, did you have anything to add?
I did not, unless someone had any questions. They're pretty normal.
Okay, so, any other discussions, questions? So for approving our vouchers and financial reports, our total is going to be $3,456,629.84. So all those in favor for approving, the vouchers and financial reports, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. We have our donations, just regular communication things for the month. So some donations at Benton Central. We have, FFA had a $200 donation, and the athletics track and field had a $20 donation, and another one of $50, athletics of $25, another FFA of $250, again, FFA of $50, Helping Hands had a donation of $200, and the automotive shop had a Honda and a Civic hybrid, oh wait, no, it's just one, 2005 Honda Civic hybrid donated, and a Ford, a 2004 Ford Ranger, and it looked like also a brake
Blade.
Okay, brake lathe. So wow, that's some big donations there. So 14,382 for the auto shop at BC, and then another FFA of $20,000 and cap of 333. So that's
Yeah, it was from an estate, someone.
okay. All right, that's a larger one than normal that we see. So that is awesome. So
I guess he's came to the sale every year for lots and lots of years, and when he passed away, he had in his will to leave $20,000.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And good donation for the auto shop as well.
Was that by one person or was it like individual?
One person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Donations at Prairie Crossing, we had a cafeteria donation, and again, it's those applying to the negative lunch balances of $500 cafeteria, and that was at Prairie Crossing again, the negative balances of $415.
And none this month for all.
Okay. All right. So thank you again for all those donors, because it does help all of our programs at every school, so much appreciated. Fundraiser update, we have a lot this, really not necessarily going on this month, but that are, that we're approving this month. But the ones, there are some hat days going on at the schools, some other ones that I kind of made note of that are is, wherever it, yeah, a lot, I guess they're mainly all up there. The Helping Hands had, they're doing some donation letters they're sending out. The band Boosters doing their laundry soap and trash bag fundraiser. And the class of 27 is doing a Homestead Bakery fundraiser. Band, it has the cheese and sausage fundraiser. And then just some other, like, within the schools that they're doing, so. You might be hearing from some of those members who are purchasing some items. Principal update, Mr. Kukar.
All right. Well, I brought along a couple of fantastic teachers and student teacher as well. We just want to highlight some of the things that they're doing in the classroom with our new English Language Arts curriculum. It's called CKLA, and just to give you the official definition, it's a comprehensive reading and language arts program designed to help students build strong reading, writing, speaking, and listening skills. It includes two main parts: the skills, teaching phonics, decoding, spelling, basic skills, and the knowledge, build students' background knowledge through read-alouds on science, history, literature, and the arts. The goal is to give students the foundational skills they need to read and the background knowledge that helps them understand what they read, so giving them context in what they're reading. There's always challenges in starting new programs, but I've been really, really proud of all my teachers and staff for implementing this new program, taking on the challenge, and they've been doing a great job. I've been into some of the classrooms, and part of the reason I wanted them to come is because they're doing some fantastic things in the classroom with this new program. And just the kids are really soaking it up, and they're really getting it, and they're talking about higher level thinking and Greek gods. I got second grade kids raising their hands, naming Greek gods, and like I didn't know those until I was, 8th grade. I mean, so
I didn't know him until a couple weeks ago.
So there. I mean, it's just really, really a really good program. And again, it's taken some time, but I'm really proud of them. And so we got Cassidy first. Go ahead. All right.
Hi, Cassidy Enner, and know all of you. This is Elena Miller. She's my Purdue student teacher, so she's been helping a lot with our CKLA planning and teaching. I was going to talk to you about our most recent domain that we did for our knowledge strand. Our knowledge strand does a lot of listening comprehension for our second graders, because not all of them are reading independently. It's not fair to give them a text that's too hard for them to read, and then they're focusing the whole time on trying to figure out what it is. So the knowledge domain, we do a lot of listening comprehension. Our daily routine looks like this every single day. We introduce the story we're talking about. We build background knowledge. We talk about things we've done, maybe the lesson previous. Then we do a read aloud text. It's very engaging. The students are asked questions. We talk about vocabulary. We have a very large comprehension discussion at the end of every read aloud, which they do wonderful with. And there's always some sort of vocabulary word work that we do. The vocabulary words that we're working on are pretty, they're pretty hard for second graders, but our goal is to, introduce them. We're not wanting them to use them in conversations right away, but I've noticed over the past few months that we've been doing this, they do start using some of those words. I'm like, hi, okay, great, yeah. And then each day there's some sort of application. So today we're teaching about the War of 1812 right now, and so they had to convince me, President James Madison, whether that we should go to war or whether we shouldn't go to war. And they just do a great job. They really get into it. So some of these quotes I pulled from, I just asked them, I was like, so what did you like about this? And one of my favorite little girls, she was like, I just love learning about the gods and goddesses, and they all love the goddess Demeter because she helps grow food, and she's the goddess of harvest, and they can talk to you all day about it. One of them goes, I really like that one guy, he ran all over the place, and his name's Phidippides. I don't know how you remember how to say that, but he's who a marathon run is named after, things that he did. And then I'll let Elena talk about what we did for our activity day. We do them at the end of each of our units.
Yeah, so for this specific one, we knew we wanted to bring in food from Greek food. So we did a Greek dinner party, which was definitely a big hit. We had, tzatziki and pita bread and hummus and some olives, some grapes, and we set up the classroom to have one big dinner together, which was super fun. And then in addition to that, we did some Olympic games, kind of to mirror what they did in Greece, which we read about in many of our different read-alouds. And so we had the kids in teams, and they got to kind of compete against each other, doing different relay races in the classroom, which was super fun. And so yeah, this activity day, I think specifically, will definitely be remembered by them, just because it was super fun and super engaging.
And it involved food.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Hi,
Mrs.
I'm
Bowman.
Angie Norman. I'm a 6th grade teacher. I am really enjoying the new curriculum that we have, and like Mr. K says, we kind of have some hiccups and it's tough to get going, but I think a lot of us are rolling with it and enjoying it more. I asked my students as well what they like about the curriculum, and now we're not in 6th grade, it's called Amplify, and I think that's Amplify 6th through 12th grade now. So CKLA is a little different than what Amplify is. Our platform looks a little different. Our students say that the online portion of it is easy to follow. The stories can be read to you, and what's really neat about the stories being read to them is that you have inflection on the voices. Sometimes it's the author reading it to them. It's fun to listen to. And it also has a really neat built-in dictionary where when you come to a word that they're reading on the computer and they're not sure what it is, it's underlined, you click it, right above the word pops the definition. So even if it's being read aloud to you, you're not getting behind by looking back and forth on what words mean. What I've enjoyed about Amplify is the amount of writing my students are doing. They're writing all the time. It has always been like pulling teeth to get 6th graders to write. Everything is writing related right now. I have enjoyed the stories that they're reading. They seem to enjoy them too, and if you know 6th graders, they're not always happy to do that. The ease of the online grading, I have to tell you, is really cool. This morning we were doing a writing prompt. They were on their Chromebooks, and as I'm walking around, I can see, I'm watching when they submit, so I can go right back to my desk, get on the teacher platform, read it right away, give them feedback, send it back to them just like that. So even before our writing class is done, I'm already giving them feedback and saying, hey, you need to retry this, this looked great, I enjoyed this about your writing. Differentiation on it, my lower readers, I can change the kind of story. They still get the same story and the same prompts as everyone else, but it can scaffold a little better so that they can complete the work without someone sitting right there helping them all the time. I found that to be really neat. We've learned that the online portion really mimics the iLearn questions with drop-down menus, with that dictionary, how they're scrolling through things. It looks a lot like the iLearn. We have a couple of upcoming things that I've started to develop for my class. At the end of the unit we're on right now, we're gonna do some candy tasting to do descriptive writing. We have a yellow fever unit coming up. The parallels we're gonna be able to make to COVID, I think is gonna really hit hard with these kids because they remember it. We have a chocolate collection unit coming up, which I am really excited about. I've researched that we can do a virtual field trip even to Hershey Story Museum in Pennsylvania. So this is just the first year. It's gonna be cool as the years come up to be able to see some different things that we can do and collaborate with the others to do it. And the other side over there I have, that's the bottom left with kind of the candy. That's one of my students, and that's her beautiful writing from the other day. That's in paragraph format. They're citing sources. They're using evidence correctly. All great standards in 6th grade. So.
I also want to mention Amanda Whaley, my dean of students. She couldn't be here this evening, but she's been a real integral part in helping to implement this program. Done a great job of helping to coach the teachers, provide them with resources, and sharing her instructional knowledge. So she's been a real help, very helpful in this process. So
She's really good. She's wonderful.
We love it.
no, thank you.
Any questions?
Sounds great.
No,
Yeah,
thanks for
that's
sharing
awesome.
and,
Yeah.
and embracing the challenge and, taking that on for the benefit of all the students, so appreciate that.
And thank you for embracing the challenge, but also when you embrace the challenges, some of those other teachers who might need a little bit of encouragement, that's appreciative as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we're gonna segue to Edie about curriculum, and that will kind of finalize the curriculum, and then I'll give you guys a chance to step out.
Thank you.
Okay, and so just briefly, I don't know if you have, oh, there we go. So Monday, the 10th, we had our final Benton Teacher Collaboration Day for this semester, and teachers worked at each of their schools. We did have cross-district collaboration for about a half an hour. Our teaching teams in the elementary schools met via Zoom or Google Meet, so that they were sharing ideas and reflecting. We did look at beginning of the year data. We're hoping we'll have mid-year data when we meet again in January. I'm so excited because I had people saying, well, Mrs. Fisher, this data that you shared with us, it would have been better if we had this data. And I'm like, yes, we're all becoming data hounds. We're really working to dig into our own classroom data and look at our students' performances and their growth, and then make adjustments as needed. So we're looking ahead to those professional development days, January, February, and April, with more analysis. And the high school teachers are working more on curriculum mapping, but also doing many similar things with data, PSAT data, and iLearn data. And I did want to share with you, the fourth grade teachers at Otterben also this last week engaged in some culminating activities at the end of a unit for CKLA. They invited the Medieval Society from Purdue to come, and they had an opportunity to hear a little bit about medieval times from these local experts and to dress up. So they had lots of costumes. So, and finally, today we had our first in-school visit with our conscious discipline behavior coach, Katie Ahern. She was at Prairie Crossing and meeting with teachers and aides. You can see she's meeting there with the aides. She came into some of the classrooms. She did some modeling for our sixth graders, and we're just really working on regulation, how to help students regulate. Her conversation with the aides was very interesting about getting the kids to come in from recess and how to deal with disputes at recess and lining up and moving through the school. So lots of best practice ideas and lots of sharing about that. So she will also, there's one more slide,
Okay.
She will be on at Benton Central on Wednesday night at 6 o'clock for a parent night, just talking about healthy relationships and how we can help our students grow and learn. So,
Good stuff.
for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate all the teamwork with the academics and curriculum, so.
Yeah.
Okay, oh, let's see, how do I get back?
Do we wanna let them,
Yeah, we will let them, we never make you stay, you are more than welcome, but we never make you stay.
Thank you.
And I
Have a
do
good
that
night.
little
So much.
way. Let me get back to this. A little bit off.
We're just taking a minute to load our projects and facilities update, so that it's visual to them online.
It's this now.
I think it's
Technology.
It's going.
It's loading.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Do we need Ethan? I don't think so. It just, there you go. The mouse is trigger happy here. Okay, let's. I think we're good, Ethan.
Okay.
It's just taking a little bit of time.
All you had to do was come in the room.
Yeah. Okay, we're ready for C5 with the projects and facilities upgrade. So, the athletic storage annex demolition has occurred, the excavating is near completion, and so the footings, forming, the pouring of the piers, all that is going on. Otterburn Elementary, the footings, the excavating and the block foundations are taking place right now. In the next 2 weeks, they'll be pouring the piers, boring the conduits, and then install the sanitary. So all of that pre-work before we start closing it in. We have had meetings every 2 weeks with our project manager, and so we've had board representation there, so thank you, and we'll continue to do that.
Has there been any movement on the swimming pool
No,
project? Does
no.
that start later in the year then?
Yes, I believe so, and I thought it was because of the timing of when the students will be using that.
I would think, yeah,
Mhm.
because that's gonna really mess them up.
Right, so we haven't even begun that.
Okay.
But that may be a good question for us to ask at our next project meeting to know how far out are we talking.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that has to do with the equipment
Yes.
as well, because there's a long lead time on that equipment, if I
Okay,
remember.
okay, that would make sense.
I could be thinking of something else.
Okay, that's what I have for the
Right.
project.
Then our C6 is the Neola policy, just our first read on some of the changes that are coming out. So it looks like bylaw changes and some policy verbiage.
So, all the policies always reflect the new legislative laws, and so, like, some of the highlights there. In the bylaws, they have now changed the minimum age to be a school board member from 21 to 18. There's a partisan election requirements. You are asked what your party affiliation is, and so there's, that is new. Compensation for board members. Common practice now is to not exceed 10% of the lowest starting salary of a teacher employed by the school corporation. So they changed how much we can compensate. And I'm just gonna say, Benton Community School Corporation is pretty minimal. So it may be something that I may recommend. There's a lot of time and effort put into being on the school board. So they recognize that, and they have allowed a certain amount. Executive session language. You can hold executive sessions for certain reasons, and they just cleared those up so that they were concise and included more areas. As far as policies, the staff evaluations, they removed the 4 categories. It used to be highly effective, needs improvement, and below. What they've done is, there's 2. However, the schools have the discretion to define how we do that, develop a rubric, and so I know that we want to do that for next year's develop a new one, and that will be on our discussion. But they did change that from 4 categories to 2. The teacher appreciation grant language was revised, and now only 20% of the teachers are eligible in each district to receive that. This has been pretty close to a nightmare to try to navigate, and it's for all schools. We understand that they want to reward good teachers, but this is not easy to navigate, and we'll talk a little bit about that in our work session tonight. But we have had good discussion with the BEA, and I think we're gonna tackle it as best we can. Yeah.
Do you want to explain what the tag is?
Yes, so the TAG grant is that for your high-performing teachers, they want to reward, the state wants to reward those high-performing teachers. And all of the teachers used to get it if they were highly effective or effective. And it was a smaller amount of money. Now they are offering $3,500, $5,000, or $7,000, which is a nice stipend. However, they limit it to 20% of your teachers, and only 20% of your teachers can do that. And they indicate that it needs to be based on the performance and growth of your students, and they indicate that based on assessments. But you can decide as a school what those assessments are. And some teachers teach a content that's not tested, so what assessment do they use? And it's just very, very difficult. And then, as all the schools had to put a job form in that said if you want to participate in that. It talked about not participating in it because it pits teachers against teachers and it's very difficult. But we don't want the state to interpret that as we don't want
the
your
money.
funds.
Yeah.
And so we said yes to it, and so all the schools had to do that. Well, more schools wanted money than there is money. So now, Benton Community has a $58,000 pot, and that won't cover 20% of our teachers at the lowest threshold. So now our 20%, which was 24 teachers, is down to like 16 or 17. So then, but we're still supposed to figure out who gets it. So challenging, and to say the least, but I'm just thankful that we can have some good conversation and try to tackle this. And then the policies, the technical and legal content changes that we have. And so those are in there. And now the tag policy does not have to incorporate what we do. It tells us we have to develop a tag policy, and then we develop our own, kind of like the evaluations.
Is there,
We'll finish out the year with our current.
Yes, we decided to do that because in July, it was almost too late in the game to change, yes.
is there a firm date on when the tag grant needs to be distributed?
Yes, January 30th, we have to have our people.
Really?
Yes,
Wow, okay.
yeah. Do you have, if you have anything else to?
The money distributed in April.
April,
Yeah.
yes, the money distributed in April, but we have to
But the
indicate
decision has to
who.
be in
Yes, by
January.
January 30th.
Right.
So we had a discussion meeting last week, and then we have another one scheduled November 24th. We have sources from other schools and see how they're doing it, and we're trying to streamline this. But we feel like the teachers need to apply themselves if they believe they fit into these categories. So we'll have a Google form for that. So I'll share more information as it goes on.
Okay. C7 is just some legislative impact summary.
I get asked a lot since the spring legislation was up on how is that Senate Bill 1 affecting your school? And you hear a lot, it's not good for schools. And so typically for all Indiana schools, I have bulleted here. It's gonna increase our reliance on the debt and the transfer from education fund to cover operations, because those property taxes, that is the operation fund. So we're gonna have to do some transferring. All schools will have to. Declining revenues, if we have any cash reserves, it's gonna decrease, our revenues will decline. They will defer some maintenance, so some schools may not do projects on their aging facilities. And educational challenges, we could have larger class sizes and reduction in force. So that would be a general statement for all schools. Now for Benton Community, I will say that is true, except it will be delayed to some extent. And why is that the case? That's because thanks to our 2020 referendum. And so we have that revenue coming in. And so those delays will be, we will experience the delays. And also I want to point out that we got the referendum in 2020, but we also got the COVID relief money then. And so we were able to be good financial stewards, and our cash reserves are healthy. And we heard Brock talk about that at our work session earlier in the year. And so we are lucky that we have those strong reserves. I also think that we have taken a good approach to our facilities when we had that assessment done, and we prioritized some of the things we're working on now. And so hopefully we're staying ahead of the game when it comes to that. So overall, if you hear other schools saying they're gonna lay off, that's real. So why doesn't Benton? Well, we are fortunate to have that referendum dollars and the good cash reserves. But I'm sharing this because I have talked to the teachers about, when we make decisions, we need to keep in mind that this is delayed. So just thought that might be helpful, because I know a lot of schools are in trouble right now.
And we did foresee some of these things coming too.
Yes.
I mean, they've been talking about some of these things in this bill for a while.
Yes.
So that's kind of how we
Mhm.
took that in mind when we made the decisions we've made.
Yes, and we also knew that the CARE relief money, COVID relief wasn't gonna be here,
Yeah.
we knew that. So, we are fortunate right now, but we're not immune to it,
Right.
so just be prepared.
And our last communication item is the C8 inclement weather e-learning versus the synchronous learning.
So this is a timely issue, you know, we had that winter weather a week ago. And we were already on a 2-hour delay and it did not mean a cancellation, but many schools did. And Farmer's Almanac says that this year is going to be, it could be very, very challenging. So we began to worry about how much longer in the school year do we go? Does it affect graduation, our summer school, and then the summertime in general? So many schools use synchronous learning. And so what's the difference between the two? We have 3 e-learning days that we can use. All schools can do that. Those are assignments sent home. They can also be done online, but those are sent home. Synchronous learning it is direct instruction. So you might log on with the class at 9 o'clock with everybody, and so that's direct instruction. Those days have no limit, according to the state of Indiana. Now, I do have an opinion. I think it can be overused, and I don't think it's the best method. And so I think that's why for so long that in community we haven't considered that. But which way do we go? How long do we push graduation and summer school? So all I wanted to do was know how comfortable are our teachers if we choose to go this route, if we have too many snow days. And so we put a survey out there, and we had about 67% of our staff saying, I'm comfortable, very comfortable or comfortable doing this. So that was just on Thursday and Friday. So on Friday, I let the staff know that we have interest. And so what I want in the next several weeks is I want the schools to talk about what it might look like, because each school is different. The requirement is only 2.5 hours of direct instruction for elementary and 3 hours for the junior, senior high. So it's not an all-day direct instruction. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. So I believe right now the schools are talking to their teachers, asking other schools what they do, and then they're supposed to get back. And I'm going to use that November 24th meeting that we have for TAG to also gain some insight on how we feel. And if this is something that we want to have in our back pocket, then I would ask for that approval in December. So just one more thing to be clear about, it's not using it on any inclement weather day. It would be after all e-learning days have been exhausted. If there are any flex days, we would exhaust those. Now this year we don't have flex days, but next year in our calendar we have 2 or 3 in there. We would exhaust all of those, and then we would go 3 days after Memorial Day. So no synchronous learning should be used until those things have happened. So it's not like a quick. And the 3 days, I think we derived at trying to figure out the finals at the high school on when that happens. Plus then we wouldn't go into summer school. I know there are lots of challenges that we haven't addressed. It would be like special programming when we don't have students who don't have connectivity. So we know all those are there, and that's what the schools are working on right now. How would we work around those things? So from here, what are we doing? We're exploring, and then they might practice with the kids.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing now. But if we're going to say, let's have it in our back pocket for this school year, I feel like we need to approve it mid-year so that parents are ready for it. So I'm open for any discussion now, but I wanted to share that.
To my knowledge, I think because of COVID, we have hotspots in various areas of the community that we still pay for, I'm pretty sure.
We weren't paying for them, we were using the, like E-rate was
Okay.
was paying for it and we used COVID, but that is getting ready to expire.
Oh, is it?
Mr. Parker has been talking to me about that. The hotspots that we sit, you're talking about the hotspots we
Yes.
sit home with students.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we need to make, we would have to make a decision whether we would continue, but we would,
But we
at
weren't
that
paying
point-
for those because of the COVID release?
right, an E-rate, through E-rate, and you, that's above me. We have to talk to technology.
That's a new term.
Technology fund.
Yeah,
And I know
well,
that
it's through the government, these companies, I
Right.
think, get some kind of tax relief by allowing schools, but I don't, again, know details of it.
I
I know
think it's a
that-
great idea, honestly. I mean, the fact that you reached out to the teachers and the majority's on board. I mean, I do it every day. I jump on Teams and meetings all throughout the day. And the fact that it's only 2.5 to 3 hours, you can cover what you need to as long as, is it a program where all the kids jump on at the same time? They hit the 2.5
Or
hours?
they can assign groups. They
Okay.
could say, I will meet with 10 or 15 for this period of time and go over here. Now, the high school's a different beast because you have the periods.
Yeah.
That's not an easy task, but
Yeah.
the good news is other schools are doing it, so what do we
Yeah.
wanna
Maybe they
extrapolate
do
from that?
like odd number period days or periods the first day and even number periods the second day or something, I don't know. But yeah, if we have support from the staff and, then I'm in favor of what they feel is best. I mean, they're the experts of how that, they know the student base and the challenges. I'm sure some of the same challenges with e-learning would exist with the synchronous learning, so if they're willing to embrace it, then I'm supportive.
Is there a committee or something, or are you just supposed to see the principals? I thought-
At Benton Central, I know they're gonna have a meeting tomorrow. Anyone
Okay.
who's interested can go to the meeting to talk about it and like talk about questions or look at what other schools are doing. So I know Corey's having a meeting at BC tomorrow,
Okay.
but I'm not sure about the elementary.
The elementary principals have reached out, and I know I spoke with a first grade teacher, and she was concerned, our kindergarten and first grade students don't have Chromebooks at home, but knowing that they could have a packet in their take-home folder that's kind of a backup, once they know there's a possibility we would have weather, that was a way that they could work that out, and then they would be available for the parents.
I think it's easier to plan once you allotted all the other days, and then
Yeah.
teachers
Yes,
can
because
know,
then you
I've
know.
gotta make sure they have their packet for first and kindergarten available, but, yeah, I mean, ultimately in-person learning, but we're in a rural community and gotta, plan accordingly.
But I will admit, at this point, the teachers and the principals are the experts on how it
Yeah.
will look, because they know. So I look forward to discussion in November and hearing from the principals, so. Okay.
So we'll go ahead and move into our new business. E1 is our monthly consideration for the staff report and other personnel items. If I can get a motion for that approval.
I'll make a motion to consider normal staff report items.
I'll second.
Any questions, discussions on that? All right, then all those in favor for approving the staff report and other personnel items, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And then we have E2 is the consideration for approval of the high school student international travel opportunity to Spain, and that will be June of 2027.
Is anybody
Yeah, I was
here to
gonna
want
say,
to
I
discuss
think we
that?
have
Yeah. And I know we heard, I think, last year, kind of the desire, so we
Yeah.
haven't heard since, but we knew that was something you guys wanted to pursue.
Yes, actually last year, so if you remember Alicia Kukartz,
Yes.
presented the idea of going to Costa Rica.
Okay.
And she did present it, I believe she had an informational meeting and had some students sign up, but never reached the levels where she was able to get enough to be able to make the trip happen. So this is something that we've come up, actually there are 3 of us. Lindsay Siasco is a math teacher at BC and she was unable to be here tonight, but the 3 of us are working together to make this happen. It's neat because we're
Spanish
all-
club, yeah, it's kind of a
Right.
cross curriculum. I'm world history, so I'm promoting it there.
Right.
And then the Spanish club will be promoting it too.
So it would be in Spain, and looking at historical and cultural aspects, religion, obviously the language and the culture of Spain as well as for any Spanish students. Math we'll throw in somehow. So just really excited about the opportunity to be able to take students overseas, to help them to get a taste of what's beyond Benton County. And so we would be working with a tour company called World Strides, which has actually, I went on a trip. Did you also go on a trip with World Strides?
I don't know who it was with, but we did. Was it World
When I was in,
You have to ask her.
when we were in high school here at Benton Central, so we both have taken trips with them. They're a really great company. They're highly, highly recommended. They do really practical, hands-on learning experiences for the students. So the tour guide is present the entire trip, like from the moment you step off the airplane to the moment you get on the airplane. And they're not just a tour guide, but also like a teacher, and as far as providing those experiences and the cultural understanding and the historical background and all of those things. So we have paperwork. I know we've shared information with you all, but are there any questions specifically that we can address?
How many kids do you anticipate, or will you take?
We really want 18, but our goal right now is 12,
Yeah.
right? Our goal is 12, so.
But there's not really a minimum.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
We get a, what was the amount? We get a whole bus. If we
30.
If we get 30, we get our own bus.
Oh,
We're
okay.
not looking at that though, really, but
maybe in 10 years, but at this point, we're just hoping for
to
a small.
spark, yeah, spark some interest, give them an experience they can talk about for the rest of their lives.
That's 9 through 12.
It would be current 8th graders
To 11th grade.
Current 11th graders, since it's not for another year and a half.
Yeah.
So then they would be
High school.
current, yeah, high school,
Okay.
or just having graduated.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
They used to always do that. Why did they get away from it prior to COVID? Yeah, okay, yeah.
I started having children.
Oh, hey, I know the feeling. No, but it was always a great program. I didn't, did you end up doing it? No? Yeah.
It was, so we both went through BC when we were there, and I will talk about the trip with my students, so.
Yeah, that's exciting.
So when I told them I got an email from some random tour company, I was like, I'll start looking into it, and then we kind of just, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah, no, I
bringing
think
in.
that would be awesome.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to consider approval of the high school student international travel opportunity to Spain in June of 2027.
I'll second.
Okay, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of the high school student international travel opportunity to Spain in 2027, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
And we'll give you the same opportunity. You are welcome to stay, but you are also welcome to scoot out. Okay, thank you and congratulations. We look forward to hearing the progress.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So E3 is our consideration to approve the updated administrator's handbook. And that was regarding the Dean of Students part being removed, since it's not really applicable to how we're using that.
Right.
I'll make a motion to consider approval of the updated administrator's handbook.
I'll second.
Any other discussions, questions? All right, all those in favor of approving the updated admin handbook, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same side. Okay, E4 is the consideration for the approval of the updated bus driver job description.
We currently have in there that they work 180 days, but they work 183. There's some training and they come in before. So we just want it to be reflect what we're doing.
Yeah, I didn't catch that last year when we did all of those at once.
Yeah.
So that was an oversight on our part.
I'll make a motion to consider approval of the updated bus driver job description.
I'll second.
Any
Is-
other questions? Sorry.
Does this have anything, like, this is not related to the extracurricular things that we were,
It's always been, I mean, it's been 183 days of the entire time I was here. It's just when we redid, we didn't have any job descriptions before. Remember
Right.
last year we did it for everybody?
Right.
And that was just a typo that we did not catch until I was looking at them recently. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not correct.
Okay. Okay, just checking. All those in favor for, approving the updated bus driver job description, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Alright, motion carries. We will move on to E5, the consideration for the approval of the updated school dance policy at Benton Central Junior High Student Handbook. So it's kind of amending that policy.
This was derived because the athletic handbook has discipline consequences. And those students could earn the right to earn back some time and not miss as much. Well, if you're just a student at the school and there's a behavior or a consequence, they didn't have that same right to earn things back. And so we want to make sure it matches, both in the areas of athletic and in just a typical student without athletics.
Well, I guess we can go ahead and do our motion when we discuss. I just had a question on that. Somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion for approval of the updated school dance policy in the Benton Central Senior High School handbook.
I'll second.
My one question was on, like who all, so I know you said that administrative, but did anybody in, like discipline or counseling, like have any say in it, or was this just like
Yes,
all-
the counselors are even involved in earning those privileges back
Okay,
because they have to go and see them. Yes, yes.
I just wasn't sure.
So to me, it was the administrators, especially the assistants who handle the discipline in counseling.
Okay. I just wasn't sure how
Mhm.
the decisions were
Right.
made, so, okay. All right, so all those in favor of approving the school dance policy at BC for, just kind of addendum to the handbook, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, E6 is approval, considering the approval of the updated facility use administrative guidelines and the updated facility use request form. So I can make a motion to, for that consideration.
I'll second.
And is, discussion, questions?
Is this regarding like using the facilities like outside of the stand, the stand
Well,
It's
for
for
anybody
seats
who
or anything?
uses it, all
Yeah,
we
it's
did
both.
is update the form. It was a couple pages, they wanted it one. And then we also just double checked with insurance to make sure what type of certificate they could use. And we reduced it to, there are two tiers. There are a tier that it's totally a school organization,
Mhm.
and there's a certain requirement for very little insurance necessary for that because they're part of us.
Right.
If it's somebody from outside of the school, they are required a different certificate.
Yeah.
So it's a way to delineate between what they need insurance-wise and not need. Also, fees. Our
Yeah.
fees were never changed for evidently 20 years. So all they did is update those fees, but they also know then if they're for our students, then there's most likely not a fee attached. If the organization doesn't have our students here and it's a for-profit, then we would assess a fee.
Yeah.
So just kind of, the form is a little bit new, that's up for approval, and the requirements in the fees, that's for our administration to make it easy
Yeah.
to look through. So it's just updated, but it needed to be done.
I filled it out before.
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks
It-
easier.
it was-
looks easier,
It is
yeah.
easier.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it does look easier.
Yeah, I haven't had a huge chance to glance at it because I was on the road, but, thank you for getting around.
Mhm.
Okay, so, any other questions? No? Okay, so all those in favor for approving the facility use administrative guidelines and updated facility use request form, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And our E7 is our consideration for approval to determine some obsolete items. We have 4 John Deere 1032 snow blowers that basically are not working or haven't been used in years.
Because we don't snow. No.
Better get them out this year.
Okay. Can I get a motion for approving those obsolete?
I'll make a motion to consider approval to determine 4 John Deere 1032 snow blowers as obsolete equipment.
I'll second.
Alrighty, and any other discussions, questions on those items?
Will
Do
those
they-
go to the auction site then?
We can try, I mean, even if they don't work, sometimes they want them for parts, so we can put them on there, it's not hard to do. We did well with our buses and our automotive equipment, we
Good.
sold them, yeah.
Do we have a working snow blower?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm just hoping. Like, there's 4 that don't work, I'm hoping we have one that does.
I
Okay.
think they've been
Trying to
sitting
clear
a long
routes.
time. I think
Okay.
they're
Keep it for
clearing out
parts.
because of the
Right.
storage.
Yes, yeah.
I think these are the old walk behind.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're cleaning up because of all the storage that we're gonna
Yeah.
Have to, yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
Okay.
all those in favor for approving the 4 John Deere snow blowers as obsolete items, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I like we're cleaning house. We're not getting used, get rid of them. Alright, EA is your consideration of the approval of the 2026 school board meeting calendar, which I love to have in advance, so, did you have,
So these just to kind of tell you,
oh yeah,
we
okay.
made some alter.
Yeah, because,
It's usually the
because of
third,
holidays and,
right.
yep, yeah, so, I can go ahead and make a motion for considering the approval of the 2026 school board meeting calendar.
I'll second.
And, yep, it looks like our January and February months are a little off because of Presidents and Martin Luther King and fall break kind of falls weird. And so October is gonna be off a little bit, and so is December because of Christmas break, so.
I double checked just to be sure the ISBA conference didn't conflict.
That's
Right,
It's-
we're gonna
it's
make
that-
it later this
yeah,
year.
the-
September, right?
The 4th, or October 5th
Oh,
and
October,
6th.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, so that'll work,
That's-
that'll be good.
that's here.
Because we've had to adjust
Yeah,
the last few
that's
years to make sure that we didn't have a meeting that day.
No other discussions, questions? All right, all those in favor for approving the 2026 school board meeting calendar, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And I believe that is everything for our new business, so we will move into public comments for non-agenda item, non-agenda items is now, so, we're good? All right, anything from board members or Dr. Tippett? Okay, all right. Well, hopefully everybody has a good fall break out there and enjoys some good turkey. All right, we'll adjourn. Okay.